It's also because, like, now you found, like, a partner, like a life partner, so you don't have to, like, impress anyone anymore. You can just be a nerdy piece of garbage. Obviously, you're not, but, like, if you wanted to be, you could. Why? The intention of this content is to not... I'm going to try it again. I've never read this out loud before. The intention of this content is not to harm anyone, dismiss any trauma experienced, or make light of any vulnerable or serious topics. If anything that is said affects you negatively, please reach out to share your concerns and help us become better people.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to...
Don't mean to interrupt, sorry. I would just like to say that you also don't have to read that. That was just like a little example. But really, it's less about directly what's on there. I know that's difficult for all of us to not read directly what's on a piece of paper as it is, but it's more of just like a general vibe, a general concept. But it's more just like this is the energy we want to portray.
I actually think that's such a good place to start, is we tried to structure it one way and then forgot kind of who we were.
Literally.
And that wasn't going to work. So starting with something really organic, like, hi, we are four friends who decided to start speaking about mental health and speak about things that affect us, things surrounding us, and what we can and can't do about those things. So this is our commentary. This is the platform for our discussions, and yeah, and we hope that you manage to make it through, or that you
die trying. Okay, wait, is that not the vibe?
I feel like
that was perfect, actually. I was going to say, let's go with that. Then you're getting into legal stuff, but...
Yeah. You got to respect the union.
Exactly. These birds work for a living.
The avian union.
The avian fluvian.
Avian union. It sounds like a Danish prog rock band.
I was going to say like a motorcycle club, but also, yeah.
Hello, we are.
Hello, we are. Avian Union.
Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout.
We are pleased to be opening for York. And here is our first song. Thank you.
Here's our first song.
Now with a special guest. My sneakers, listen. There we go. Welcome to the Existential Owl, presented by Aster. And we were just talking about what's appropriate and what's not, and whether or not we will get canceled for saying something inappropriate. And then simultaneously, everybody's blood pressure skyrocketed, and now we're all looking at each other for help.
I'm not. I mean, yeah, that also brings up the term, what is canceled? What does it mean to be canceled, right? Because there's celebrities who have been canceled, but they're still working and making money and just being people.
Like Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I always think about Chris Brown.
Yes,
I think of Shane Dawson.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not just canceled for some of these people, it's crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, yes, they were socially ostracized from, New York Times writing positive articles about them, but they're still going on about their lives.
Yeah. It's like, you can be canceled from your primary network, but other networks are still going to play you and not really give a shit. And then missing out on that singular network, it's not really going to impact.
No, especially with the podcast world coming up, and there's some, very popular podcasts that go against cancel culture. They're very vocal about cancel culture, so they invite people who have been canceled onto their podcast to somehow give them more room to speak.
It's interesting. It's content.
It is. Content is content. Being hated is a form of content.
Right. Which I think is like immediately, like this being the first episode, the first time that we're trying this, is a pretty big fear. Right off the bat, it's like, what if we're not liked? What if people don't relate? What if it's just us?
That's a pretty regular fear.
Right.
In life in general, but in my brain, yes. I was just like, when you said that, I was like, who can relate? Who can relate?
Yeah.
And also, let's be clear that although this is technically the first day of us trying, this is like hour 2 of us trying.
Yeah.
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 We're putting in a lot of effort into not hurting people's feelings.
Yeah. And then it's like, despite all of that effort, somebody will probably be offended. Somebody something might slip. I think with that disclaimer that you gave, if that happens, like, we're so open to learning more and to course correcting.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any way in life that you can live in a way that makes you happy and also makes everyone else happy. So I think that no matter what, someone's going to get hurt at some point. But if you can have a conversation about that, then maybe that helps that other person just a little bit. Maybe just giving them like a chance to actually explain how they're feeling instead of just getting upset at them for being upset.
Yeah. It's giving like an honest, authentic space. How's your water?
I had to move away from the mic to drink it because I didn't want people hearing slurping and thinking this was an ASMR kind of thing.
50% of the audience just, fuck this then.
Wait a minute. So I think it's important, where this is the first episode, to kind of get into who we are, because right now we are just voices in the void. People are listening. Well, one person is listening. Thanks to my girlfriend for listening.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Mom.
I'm not sending this to my parents.
No, if my mom ever finds it, I will deny.
Deny it till the day I die.
But you mentioned me by name. You mentioned you by name.
So my name is Matt. I met these people around me in school a couple of years ago, and we've just had a connection ever since. So I wanted to start by doing a little icebreaker to shake things into place a little bit, kind of give a good vibe. So I thought that we would start by sharing something good that happened to us this week, and then when is the last time you cried and why?
Oh, God.
Am I going first? So I guess you're looking at me. Or are you going first?
I was looking to my left, but also I can go first. I'm kind of spinning in this chair here, looking at everyone, because we're kind of in a circle. So yeah, my name is Matt. I'm 23. Something good happened this week. I feel like my mental health is on the upswing, which is good. This week really kind of told me that I'm capable of taking back my life, which is exciting. But the last time I cried is really any time my girlfriend says something nice to me. No, that was like a ha 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 thing.
Oh, that's so sweet though.
That's Kaylee's way of laughing.
I laugh at the wrong things. So.
Yeah, your laughing is just pity.
Except when I'm at an actual comedy show, I tend not to laugh, you know.
Just a blank stare of
Dissociating the entire
Yeah,
time.
like what do you mean you're just standing up on that stage saying words for an hour and everyone's laughing in response? This is so weird.
That's what I do on a daily basis.
I want that person to bring you up on stage.
a Kaylee stand-up show would just be an hour of the most uncomfortable staring, but also some very cool tidbits about politics and possibly trains, maybe the war.
Possibly. All of
Possibly.
the above. Yes, I guess that leads into me. I'm Kaylee. I'm 23. What's something good that happened this week?
Yeah.
No. I mean, my week's been like, my days have just been kind of like steady. Everything's like okay. And so it's like, I don't know, nothing specifically good happened this week.
Maybe your good thing is that things are just okay.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, the last time I cried was Thursday, because of training. Like I had to have a meeting with my supervisor and he made me cry, which is pretty normal for me. So yeah, but it was a expected cry. So
You had like prepared for it?
oh yeah, I knew because it was about like training that happened. Like I didn't complete my training on Saturday. And so like 4 or 5 days before. And so it was like all week waiting for the meeting.
Oh, so you were like mentally, you were like, today I'm going to cry.
Yes.
I'm going to wear my waterproof mascara.
I went no makeup that day. Yep.
Good call. For the best.
Yeah.
Was it a messy cry?
No, it was just one of those ones where I'm still talking to you and there's just tears coming down my face.
You were
I
leaking.
get those. Yeah.
I'm good at
I
those.
often leak.
Yeah, I'm leaking right now.
Yeah, they're trying to comfort me and I'm like, no, don't comfort me. Just let me keep talking so I can go home now.
I think I'm all done. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Oh, that goes into me. I'm Isabella, but everybody calls me Izzy. I am 20, but I'll be 21 in September, so I sound less like a little baby. The best part about my week was that the pizza Lunchmates were on sale at Toby's. And the last time I cried was Thursday at work.
Thursday twins.
Thursday at work twins.
Yeah, look at us go.
Thursday winning.
Because I was so overwhelmed with just everything going on, and I had to stay 4 hours late. It was too much all at once.
So the common theme here is that we don't like working, at least not for the people that we work for.
Well, I, in case they ever hear this, that's only like half true, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there are moments that are great, but
It's a lot on us.
we're all neurodiverse. Let's just use that word. And things are a little more complicated for us when it comes to working, I guess.
And working in mental health in particular is draining for someone who has to spend a lot of their time worrying about their own mental health. Which I think is something that people don't really think about, like just how much energy it takes to actually just keep yourself breathing.
It's like you literally have no time off.
Yeah. Because even when you're off work, you're still on in your head.
Yeah.
It's true. It's like the output that we have. It's to keep ourselves sustainable. It pretty much drains us completely, and then we're expected to have some sort of social dynamic, and then you throw in responsibilities in a job and deadlines or proper methods of communication. People wonder why burnout happens frequently.
Yeah. I want to get to you, Liam, but before I forget, I wanted to bring up this thing. I had a psychiatry appointment, and the psychiatrist basically told me that all my problems are behavioral. And it's because I've been doing the same behavior since I was a kid. And it kind of goes into what you were saying with responsibility, because like when you're a kid and you need to escape, you can't drive anywhere. You can't like leave the house without your parents. So you escape inwards. But then when you're adult, you can't do that because you have too many responsibilities. And that's where I've run into trouble. That's where so many people have probably run into trouble, because you just like carry these behaviors with you from when you were a little kid trying to protect yourself, and now you're not a little kid anymore. You don't need to do that, but it's a habit, like smoking.
It's the way you're programmed at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah. Especially if you, as a child, didn't have any guardian or mentor to guide you as you were learning. That solace is okay, right? There's isolation. That's one thing. But taking space for yourself is good. But if you grew up not having that, with the expectation to be on 100% of the time, which may be like a generational thing at that point, then as an adult, burnout happens, honestly, in some cases, daily.
Yeah. By the end of the day, you're literally burnt out from your own life,
Yeah.
from yourself.
Yeah. And then there's no rest. It's like programmed sleep,
Yeah.
right? So it's like trying to reboot your PC. There's still a virus. Like it's still...
There's still hundreds of gigs of porn on there.
Yeah.
There is all of the porn available on the internet is currently downloaded, and you're just trying to turn off your PC, but it's like Minecraft when you set off too much TNT. Freaking out.
Great reference.
I know that because I experienced that the other night.
There's
My game crashed.
Porn one?
copious amounts of explosive porn.
Of explosive Minecraft porn.
I wonder if there's
Do they have that?
Minecraft porn.
Rule 34.
Rule 34.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Minecraft porn. Oh yeah.
What would Minecraft porn be like? Is it all blocks?
Oh,
Or
I can
is it
tell
like-
you all about it. Not that I know anything, but it's all blocks. Not that I would know.
Like, is that the attraction, or is the attraction the idea that like everyone's playing this game, but you get to see it in a different way?
What if the attraction is literally that you can build your own dream scenario, brick by brick, because it's Minecraft.
You can build your penis.
Okay, but like if the blocks are all only like 1 square by 1 square or like 1 square by half square, like a slab, how big is the penis? Is it 1 full square length and width and another full square length and width? Or is it like the size of a
Right.
fence? A
And
fence
then
post is small.
Right. And then does the shape of the square change depending on what biome you're in?
Ooh. It's a cactus in the desert biome.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like yeah.
In the mushroom biome, it has a mushroom on it. Or
Right.
It's circumcised.
The mushroom biome is just circumcision. I'll have to add that to my porn collection later. I mean, what?
Introduce yourself, Liam.
We kind of forgot about that part because we talked about Minecraft porn.
We forgot about me. This ties in so much to my childhood.
Make sure the mic picked that up. Can you do that one more time?
My name is Liam. I am 30.
An old man.
I'm an old man. I'm 32. And this whole podcast idea came about while we were all in school, training to be counselors, all coming from different histories and then coming together, but also agreeing that being a counselor was ultimately we just wanted to help people or try to improve whatever system. And notice how I made a coming together joke.
I did, and then
Okay,
you
you
looked at
caught
me.
that.
I laughed a little bit.
Okay. At my age, I need validation.
Drink your milk, Grandpa.
Yeah. Ooh, validation porn.
That's
That's a praise kink.
yeah,
That's definitely
Praise
just
kink?
Praise kink.
yeah. It's like that's the more official. Like when you're presenting the idea of creating praise kink porn, you call it validation porn because they're like, you know what? That doesn't sound too bad. When you say praise kink, everyone's like, oh, you little freak. You have a kink. I like missionary.
Like my father and my father before him.
And my father before me, his father. When's the last time you cried, Liam?
Last time I cried, I would have been driving and just feeling like I didn't meet my own expectations and then realized that my own expectations were impossible to meet. So I was setting myself up for failure. And then I cried, which told my inner child that I actually am a bitch and that there was never going to be any kind of meeting that point where I feel like I've done a good job that day. There was this common theme of Matt, like you commented, things are actually going pretty well. Kaylee, things are kind of in the middle. And Izzy, things are
here.
things are present.
Things are currently surviving.
But then there was this theme of when that's being said, it's either things are good, I'm expecting them to get worse, or things are okay right now, that's going to change. And then, I'm hoping they get better. So there's this like not being able to live in the moment. At least that's kind of what passes through my head. Oh, I'm good now. Something's going to crash and burn.
Yeah, just waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really common for people who just grow up in like chaotic environments.
Yeah.
Because being calm is weird and unnatural compared to how my life was before I was 18. So now it's like, it's almost you're seeking chaos a little bit.
It feels familiar.
The chaos becomes the baseline, right? That becomes familiar. It becomes where you feel safest.
Yeah, and I think that also leads into me, like, why I have a hard time saying, like, oh, things are good. Like, right now, yes, things are good. But I view it as such like I'm almost too present, like, in the moment when I'm going through these things. I'm like, things are level. Like, I don't want to feel excitement because that can lead into negative emotions. And I don't want to feel negative emotions at all. So, like, I just keep everything super level and try to stay very in control of everything.
Yeah.
If you don't let yourself get too excited, you don't get too disappointed.
Yes, which is, yeah, that's pretty true for me.
I find if things get too good and then I get excited, there's usually, from my childhood, if I start to express excitement, then there's judgment. Because then I'll act differently. I'll act
Yes.
childish. And then people judge that. So why would I put myself in that position?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is completely normal.
Right.
To act like a child when you're feeling that childlike excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you didn't have a chance to feel much of that excitement when you were a child. Once you finally find a safe space, then that's when those childlike emotions start to come out. Like, I've never behaved more like a child than I do in my life right now.
That's true for me and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that space.
It really is. And then we start to question whether that space is safe. And then we can either sabotage or reinforce it.
The opposite of sabotage, whatever that word is. To not.
Sabotage.
To not sabotage. And it's so hard because you're almost your own worst enemy when it comes to that. Like, you have to be the one to make it safe, but also you don't know what safe looks like. How the hell am I supposed to know what safe to me looks like when most things in my life have not felt safe?
Yeah. Well, it's like trying to paint a picture of mountains when all you've known is the sea, right? If you've never seen it, then how are you supposed to express that?
Kind of like Santa Claus.
Exactly. He sees you when you're sleeping.
Yeah, he does.
Was that Santa Claus at my bed? Or was that you?
Is that Santa Claus, or are you just happy to see me?
I'll show you the North Pole.
I'll show you, Santa Claus.
Please sign here. This is the Santa Claus.
Oh, like Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking like Claus.
Oh, I was talking about like documentation.
I'll show you the documentation of Santa.
Here's how to point out the neurodivergent people. Just say clause. And then
See where everyone goes. Yeah.
documentation. No.
No, like Wolverine. I was watching a documentary on Netflix the other night, narrated by Morgan Freeman. Incredible. It's called Life on Our Planet. And it starts from like the very beginning of life, like the first ever cell until now. And it kind of walks through that. And watching it has made me realize that I'm terrified, but also so calm that the fact that the world is heating up, because we've already had like 5 major extinction level events in the earth. And it just happens. Every couple 100 million years, this kind of thing happens. Like, the world will get hot for a while, then it'll get cold, then it'll get hard to breathe, then it'll get really hard to set things on fire, and then it'll get super easy to swim, and then, like, it's just like the world just changes. Like, our world is still such a young planet, and it's still growing so much that, like, in a million years, probably 50% of the species that we know now will be extinct, and will have been for a long, long time.
Isn't that wild? And then you start to like really think about our place here. And you can either go into like an extreme... Kaylee is...
Smiling.
Kaylee just descended into madness. But it's like, it can either be very existential. Hey.
Yeah, that's where I went.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I feel like nihilism is like kind of the first thing that a lot of people experience when it's like your ego death very much leads to nihilism, which is that the world is meaningless. So who cares, and who's going to try? I might as well just end it all, which, really leads into suicidality as well.
Yeah.
So if you have that ego death, you get into philosophy, you really have to claw your way out into something that's a little more comfortable, or else you'll be suffering.
Because you can really just get stuck forever.
Yes.
Thinking about, like you said, Liam, your place in the world, because the world is so, literally billions of years happened where there were no humans, there were no mammals. It was just single-celled jellyfish in the ocean for 300 billion years. Or something like that. I don't know. Watch the documentary. It's called Life on Our Planet.
Yeah, this is not fact. Do not use these numbers.
Don't use anything we say here as facts.
I'm pulling this directly out of my ass. However,
So am I. Out of his ass.
it's a group effort to pull something out of my ass.
We're all in his ass.
That's what the world is, really. You are about to experience the 6th extinction level event. Because I had beans this morning. Just kidding. I don't like beans.
That dad level humor just resonates with me. I feel it so deeply.
You're welcome.
Just like those beans.
Did that change? Did you like them more when you had kids? Like dad
Beans?
jokes? No. do you now only, it's just the dad jokes just kind of come to you?
The dad jokes have always been there, but now I have a safety label.
You are allowed to use them.
I'm allowed to be nerdy. I'm allowed to say these stupid jokes.
I earned it.
I'll say something and it's pretty lame, but I can just go haha, dad joke. And everyone's like, oh, got it. Got it.
You're not a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, you know what? That is kind of funny because of what you've just said. I like that now. But before I couldn't do that, which is why I would get beat up. What's that?
It's also because now you found a partner, a life partner, so you don't have to impress anyone anymore. You can just be a nerdy piece of garbage. Obviously, you're not, but if you wanted to be, you could. But you don't have
You
to
have full rights to be.
Yeah, I mean, I can just be who I am. Nerdy innkeeper type. Just carrying lanterns.
Like a Norman Bates type situation.
Yeah, exactly. My life is a motel. Where do you begin to unpack that?
My first thought was, wow, a lot of people going in and out.
Yeah.
My life as a
And
sex
wow,
worker.
your sheets are filthy.
I'm frequently tested for HIV.
Someone was murdered in one of your bathtubs.
What is, if your life is a motel, what is the bathtub?
I feel like a turquoise. A turquoise deep basin.
So this is the design of the bathtub.
Yeah.
I was thinking of what part of the body.
Exactly. I was thinking of what aspect of life would you consider, what is the bathroom and what would be the bathtub?
Dad joke. See? It works.
It works. That was really funny.
I'm no longer a fucking moron. I'm covered.
I'm just a father.
It's like insurance. As soon as kids come into play, you have life insurance.
Like a good neighbor, your baby is there.
Like a stainless steel turquoise deep basin tub. Bathing me.
Does it have claw feet?
Does it have claw feet?
Claw feet, your tub.
Oh. See? Claws. See?
Were you thinking about your baby having claw feet?
Guys, we need to get the video going.
Yes.
So you can see the claws.
We're all doing claw. I was going to say animations, but we're real.
Are we?
Are we?
Oh, no.
This is another reason why we started this, because we realize that the conversations we have might be worthwhile for someone else to listen to either try and diagnose us
As case studies.
As case studies, and 30 years from now will be like the next Stanford prison experiment, except
Wait.
it's just 4 of us in an unlocked room.
In an unlocked room.
Yeah.
That reminds me, actually, my therapist is using me as a case study. I love being used as a case study. We're not unpacking that. Anyways.
Gloss right over that one.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she's using me as a case study for working on clients with severe dissociation, not necessarily diagnosed with any dissociative disorders, but severe dissociation and how they interact with internal family systems, which is a type of therapy. So, yeah.
Wow. What brought that on?
Well, mostly because I'm at like a stage in my therapeutic journey where I've been with the same counselor for about 3 years now. It's just over 3 years. So we're like, she knows everything. She calls me on everything. And I took a break for a little while, for like 2 months. And when I went back, I was like, I don't know what I need to be working on until basically I got all escalated because of training at like work, having to do physical contact and restraints. And so we just started talking about the things that legitimately trigger me and how I've come to a point where I'm so level and well presenting, like around the public, but there's still a lack of integration between my sense of self and that like outward presentation that I give everybody. Well, it's just like I was even talking to my supervisor, and part of the thing that made me cry was the fact that he was like, I don't really see anything wrong with you. And I was like, yes, exactly. That's
It's
the
called
point.
masking. So
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't see anything wrong.
Yes. Yeah. So this is trying to, well, and like it has to do with my family, obviously, who are incredibly messy, and they still are. And that's something that I can end up getting dragged back into still. And even like over the last month, I've been getting involved in their conflict, my parents, and solving it. And my therapist is like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, because I can. But like, I'm like, there's some weird pride thing for me when I talk to my family of the fact that I've surpassed them at this point, like emotionally, because they're still having the same problems they've been having for the last decade.
And they just can't move past
They
it.
just can't move past it. So, yeah, we're going to try to deconstruct a little bit around my family system and that role, because my role as a child in my family deeply reflects how I feel about myself in society. That I'm only valuable if I am good, a good person. I make other people feel valuable instead of just existing without needing that external validation. Yeah.
Which is so difficult.
Yes, especially when it's like, that's my personality. That's who I am. Like, to me, that's how I've always been. What's wrong with making other people feel good?
Exactly.
But then it's at the expense of myself. So it's trying to like separate those things.
That's the part that often gets lost and all that stuff. Because I've had the same thought before where like, I get it. Like, my behavior is sometimes problematic for me, but if you think low enough about yourself, like if you think so little about yourself that it doesn't matter how you feel, if your behavior is making other people happy, then what?
Exactly.
Shouldn't that be enough?
Yeah, and a lot of disorders really only get diagnosed when they're affecting other people. And I think that has to do with people who do have mental health issues often have low self-esteem. They've often been the ones who are the hardest on themselves, no matter what mental health issue it is.
That's a really good point, actually. Support will only come to you, or lack of support, but when it has impacted others.
Yes.
So it's never, that support comes when it's impacted you.
When you're becoming a problem for other people.
Right. Then there's an intervention,
Yes.
right? That seems to be the only time when, okay, a diagnosis here is necessary, or okay, you need some additional,
Yes.
barriers. It makes me think of Maslow's hierarchy, but it makes me think of what Maslow got that from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Blackfoot Nation, their pyramid of self-actualization was more built on community, and then Maslow's is more personal built. But it seems like in this society, you are judged based on your impact in a community rather than your personal impact with yourself?
So I was just listening to music the other day, and I stumbled upon a lyric that really stood with me. And I actually asked you guys
Which I have mine now.
last
got one
week
too.
to share a lyric that, like, with no context as well, because I want to see how this goes. I want to see where we each went with this, because I imagine at least one person is going to be drastically different, and I think it's going to be Liam, just judging by the look on your face. But so my lyric is from a Taylor Swift song
Shout out.
from All Too Well,
Oh, of
the
course.
10-minute version. You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. Which every time I hear that, I'm just like, holy fuck.
Bars.
Because, like, you do not tell people a secret. Like, a secret's something you're ashamed of. Like, you're like, hood up, keep your eyes down. That's another Taylor Swift lyric, by the way. Illicit affairs.
I thought that was Lil Wayne.
Yeah. But an oath is something that you are, like, proud to share. Like, I am committed to this oath and I want everyone to know it. Whereas, like, a secret is like, I've done something that I'd never want anyone to know, or I have information that I don't want to share with anyone.
That's like, people love to publicly share their principles that others will, highlight and say, that's awesome, but never the principles that might clash or, conflict. Yeah.
Yeah. You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. And every time I'm just like, God damn, Taylor, you shitty billionaire polluting our earth, but also lyrical genius.
Bars.
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 We love Taylor Swift, but we also hate Taylor Swift. That's the official stance.
Yes.
Yes.
The official stance of North Aster is Taylor Swift makes really cool music.
And
our-
is mommy, but
Yeah.
she's also mommy capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also grabbed one from a Taylor Swift song
Nice.
because I got a new phone, so I've been downloading discographies, like album by album, but basically one song at a time. And so I finally got all of hers, which means I got to the last album, The Torture Poets Department, which I haven't really listened to all the way through entirely. Like, I have, but I clicked on a random song in my car the other day, and I was like, oh, new favorite Taylor Swift song. And so this one is The Bolter. This is a lyric from The Bolter. And it's basically like the first paragraph. It says, "And I can confirm she never made a curious child ever reviled by everyone except her own father. With a quite bewitching face, splendidly selfish, charmingly helpless, excellent fun till you get to know her. Then she runs like it's a race. Behind her back, her best mates laughed, and they nicknamed her the Bolter."
Damn, Taylor.
That's the first verse of that song.
Resonation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's like I'm an innocent, fun little girl until you get to know me and you realize that I actually am a human with real problems.
Yes.
And then I don't want to be a human with real problems, so I'm going to run.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, I really resonate with that. I'm a big avoider. Like, yeah, I find myself I'm like, oh, everything's fine. But it's actually because I have avoided it so good, it doesn't affect me anymore. But
It just doesn't exist anymore.
No, it just doesn't
Yeah.
exist. But like, yeah, that one really spoke to me.
That was the song that you just played, and then, this is
Yes.
this is my new favorite.
Any song could have played.
Yeah, I just hit shuffle on my phone. I mean, I don't have a ton of music yet, but still, yeah.
And you're just going song by song? What an interesting way to do it. I just listen to
Yeah.
30 seconds of a song and I'm like, I could listen to this someday and then download the whole album.
That's what I do too.
Oh, no, I don't. Mostly, like, Lana Del Rey, I, picked through a lot of her stuff because I don't like a lot of her music.
Watch what you say.
About Lana Del Rey.
I mean, Mommy Lana has her own issues.
Mommy Lana.
Oh, it's my turn. Mine is an Eminem song,
Okay.
and the lyric is 2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good tree.
Yeah, you went a different route.
Yeah. I knew there was going to be at least one person who went in a very different route, and
Yeah.
that's why I did not add context.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that one's me.
That is fantastic. This one is by Future. I don't even know the song. This is the lyric. It is 3 words. Are you ready?
Was that the 3 words?
No. But got him. The 3 words are, I invented doors.
That's gotta be some of the hardest
That's
bars
the hardest
I've
lyric
ever heard.
I've ever heard.
That might be the best lyric on this entire list. So unbelievably hard. There is a chance that Future is a time traveler who actually did invent doors, and we don't know it. Maybe this isn't just another rap lyric. Maybe this is him like pleading, like, guys, please believe me. Like, I'm the guy who invented doors.
Somebody please listen to me. I'm in pain.
Yeah. Like, help me. I'm stuck in this year, but I need to get back to the time where I invented doors.
So as a time traveler, during that time, his rap name was Past.
That's why his name is Future.
Yeah.
Because that's where he is, according to him.
Yeah, according to his timeline.
Yeah.
Which fluctuates depending on how far along doors have come.
Yeah. Like, he should have just gotten to the doorknob, and now we're already on, like, automatic doors that don't even have doorknobs. And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is this, glass?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did glass come before doors? I don't know. My stove deserves a shout out. I'm like, what's up, stove?
That's so hard.
It resonates.
Hard.
It resonates.
Rock hard.
That was 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
Bars.
And 2 Chainz is like one of 6 people on the planet that could get away with saying that.
Yeah.
Like, if Macklemore said that, I'd be like, yeah. 2 Chainz? Yeah. Drake? Nah.
Flaccid.
Nah. Flaccid.
Flaccid. Yeah.
Kendrick? Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah.
My stove deserves a shout out. I'm like, what's up, stove?
It's so honest.
It like he really lets you in. That's what I love about 2 Chainz is he really lets you in.
He's so vulnerable.
He's so vulnerable.
I've never considered 2 Chainz like this. I've never seen him through that lens.
You've only seen one chain.
Now I'm seeing double.
I'm like, what's up, stove? This last lyric might be the most dominant, badass thing to say or do in a song I've ever seen or heard in my entire life. It is from Daft Punk. I don't want to sing anymore. And then there's an instrumental break.
Amazing. Very punk of him.
Love.
Yeah. That's
Hard.
Hard.
that's quite.
Yeah. Imagine
Quite
just being
hard.
like, you know what? This is my song. Like, I can stop whenever I want. I'm going to stop now. And then he's just like, instrumentals. I don't want to sing anymore. I'm taking a break. I need some water. And then it's just, is Daft Punk still alive?
I don't even know.
And isn't it multiple people? Is Daft Punk multiple people, or is one of them Daft and one of them Punk?
I
Like,
thought it was just one guy.
I know it's at least one person wearing a helmet.
Isn't Daft Punk Banksy?
Maybe. Isn't that Skrillex? I don't know. I can't keep track.
Oh, I don't know what kind of
Stop singing.
multiversal equation we're getting into.
Where Skrillex is Banksy.
And with that, thank you so much for listening. And thank you for walking with us. We will see you next time.
Wah,
Bye.
wah.
Bye.
What was that thing that that you said? Not or else.
Or else.
Or die trying.
Or die trying. We'll see you next time.